Okay, those are the first-round quarterbacks from 2024.
Whoa.
In the early action on Sunday, 5 of them played and 4 of them won, and Michael Penix Jr. lost to one of the others, Drake May.
Yeah.
That was something. They had a chance to go 5-1, but obviously the Seahawks last night beat the Commanders. We'll be talking about that coming up. For now, though.
Man, I mean, this class is special. It's special. It really is.
And
we questioned J.J. McCarthy, and I know we'll talk about that later, but, I mean, again, he made big plays. It wasn't a perfect game, but he certainly is not a deer in the headlights. And there was a lot of pressure on J.J. McCarthy yesterday. I would sit here and argue I think there was more pressure on J.J. McCarthy than anybody in football yesterday.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
He is truly playing for his job. People are not sold, right? The media, he didn't look that great before the injury and all that, so we're all questioning Sam Darnold and what he's doing.
But, it's kind of like what we're talking about with the Bills.
Yeah.
In one person.
Right.
You got all the stuff that happened in the offseason.
Yeah.
Do we keep Sam Darnold or do we ride with the unproven kid? Let's see. Let's think about it. Okay, we'll stick with the kid. Do we keep Daniel Jones? Do we ride with the unproven kid? Let's think about it. Actually, they offered Daniel Jones more money than the Colts did, but Jones saw a better path to play in Indy because he thought, Kevin O'Connell can make anybody a good enough quarterback. So more pressure on McCarthy to be that. Then Aaron Rodgers wants to play for him. They stick with McCarthy. Then week 1, doesn't look good for 3 quarters, pulls off the victory. Week 2, it's a disaster. He gets the injury. Is he injury prone? Is he going to stay healthy? Is he going to be effective? What's he going to be able to do? And, welcome back. You're going to Michigan to take on the Lions, where the Vikings hadn't won since 2020. And it's your first game back in Michigan against an elite NFL team that is rested and ready. And he went in, and he didn't blink. He didn't flinch. That's the thing. He's got no fear. Now, he's got to harness that when it comes to potentially getting himself injured. But, man, he was clutch.
Yeah, that's it. It was clutch.
And it all came down to that third down play as the Vikings hold a 3-point lead. Because if he really didn't have faith in the kid, because I said in the viewing room, look, if this is your guy, he's got to be given the chance to throw the ball here. And he was. And he threw it not to Justin Jefferson, not to Jordan Addison. Threw it to who's number 1? I can't even remember his name now.
Yeah, Jameson Williams.
No, not number 1.
Sorry,
no.
Naylor.
Jalen Naylor. I want to say Jalen Reagor.
Right.
And it's like, no, it's not Jalen Reagor. It's Jalen Naylor.
Yeah.
And, it wasn't – at first I thought he didn't catch it. And, boom, game over.
Yeah.
And that shows that they got no choice but to ride this. Let's see what the kid can do. If you think he's your guy, you can't say, well, we better just run it here or do something safe and try to play defense.
Yeah, you got to
go out and win it.
Right, you got to play a win, especially when you're playing the Detroit Lions. And I think the other thing is they helped him out. Just like we talk about with all these quarterbacks. You need a little help. What did you guys do yesterday for the first time all year, basically? You ran the freaking ball
with Aaron Jones.
With some success, though. At least it made Detroit scared.
I was surprised to see Aaron Jones running the ball.
Exactly. So they did that. They had a big kick return, right? They get the big kick return that set up the first touchdown. That takes pressure off. So that first touchdown drive was a 5-play, 36-yard drive. That helps out a young quarterback. You force a fumble on David Montgomery, right, as they're coming out of their own end zone.
That was key.
Gives them another short field touchdown. The game's 17-14 at that moment. That put them up 24-14. So good team win. And then, let's not forget that Mother effing Brian Flores brought it to the Detroit Lions offense. 5 for 17 on third down for Jared Goff.
Pressure up the middle.
That's what it was. You're exactly right. You look at the game, they took the approach of the old, let's get Jared Goff off the spot, right? Which, is like everybody's like, what's the spot? What's the spot? Like, they made Jared Goff on third downs just have to shuffle and move and do something a little bit. They weren't just going to let him be like, I'm the Statue of Liberty. I'm going to throw the ball. Boom, he's wide open. They made him move a little bit. It made him uncomfortable. And we know, we've talked about this a lot in the past, he's not the kind of guy that makes a quick move and then throws some laser or throws something sidearm. So that affected him.
That was always a way to rattle Brady.
It is because they're not extremely athletic backyard type quarterbacks. So Flores decided, I'm going to come right up the middle there, right? Like you said, the two backers in the A gap and doing all that, and it made Goff uncomfortable. And then you couple with that with, man, the Lions couldn't get their run game going, which might have been the biggest shock of me of the day. Man, good win for the Minnesota Vikings. And I got to talk to your man Jay Jettas after and talk. I didn't get to get him on to get him another gift.
I knew you wouldn't have time to ask about the computer.
I should have kept going because we could have used it. Like, we had the full interview on my Instagram page and stuff. So I don't, they can cut it out. I should have asked them.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to when you said you did. I know you well enough. And I know how those things go. You go in with a plan, and we talked about different questions you could ask, and it's like once it starts going, it just goes.
Yeah, no, I had it written down. The problem is we're trying to worry about a show and everything like that, and NBC's like, hurry up, last question. So you hustle through it, and I'm gonna go, I want to bust his chops one more time.
I thought when J.J. McCarthy showed up from the side, I thought he did this.
I know you did. I was like,
but he did he was
pointing at him, going, he's the best player in the world.
But I saw this, and all I saw was that, so I made myself think he was doing this to
upside down longhorn.
Because I saw him come in and do that. I saw that part of it, half of it. So anyway,
but Justin
wishful
Jefferson's
thinking.
Awesome.
Justin Jefferson's awesome.
Buddy.
He's the coolest guy in the world.
Right.
And he didn't do the gritty after the first touchdown. He was just.
Well, he said he had to stare down some fans who have been talking some crap.
And I also think there was a point in the second half where the Lions stopped the Vikings, and some defensive back from the Lions was John at Jefferson, and he doesn't take that bait. He's just walking away, and that guy's John at him. It's like, that's probably not the smartest thing to do, because you're going to have to face him again at some point today, or like on Christmas Day when the Vikings and the Lions get together in Minnesota.
Good for J.J. McCarthy. Big win.
It was a season-changing win for the Vikings, and I don't know where it's going to go from here, but they're 4-4 now. They're on the outside looking in if the playoffs start today. They're in last place in their division, for crying out loud.
Right.
But if they had lost that one, I think, and especially if they'd been blown out, which I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
And look, again, we proved everyone wrong. Well, the only reason we thought you were going to lose badly is because the last time we saw you play, it was one of the worst performances from the Vikings I've seen in recent years.
Right. And
it was
you
like
had a quarterback
they didn't even get off
who
the
hadn't
plane
played in a few weeks.
Right.
You're worried about that. Right.
Who, like, there was a sense, is he being soft benched? Are they going with Carson Wentz with a fractured shoulder?
Right, because they don't trust J.J.
Because they don't trust J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, I hear you. But we saw he can make some plays, and if their team plays that way around him, I didn't even mention, too, they blocked a field goal, right? That was another big moment of the game. And they made a lot of plays throughout there. That was a good team victory. And then that, again, play as a team and let J.J. McCarthy get more and more comfortable, and he'll start to make more plays and be surgical, and you'll see all the big pass plays. So good for them. Good for your Vikings, man.
And it was good that at the end he had to make that throw. I think making that throw to seal the game has significant value.
No question. This week he's going to be like, I'm clutch. I'm clutch. The locker room's going to look at him and go, hey, he's clutch right there. When big moment, that mofo right there is going to make the throw.
Well,
that's what helps you there.
They felt that way after week one.
Right.
Then that balloon got popped week two, and then we hadn't seen him.
Yeah.
And see, it's the thing. The train keeps rolling for the rest of the NFL. So that memory of what happened in week one may as well have been week one of 2023, not 2025.
Right,
so you got to reestablish yourself. He had a touchdown run that looked a lot like the touchdown run he had against the Bears.
Yeah, it did.
You can't take that off the table when you're in the red zone and defending the Vikings, and that makes it easier.
Yep.
Knowing that, because they're going to be looking for that, that's going to open up other things. And the Kevin O'Connell beautiful mind can use that to their advantage. And I bet you're going to see a play where he starts to run that way and tuck it and then stop and throw to somebody who's wide ass open on the other side of the end zone because they're all coming over to try to get it.
It opens up the playbook. That's for sure. Good win for them. It is shocking too, like we talked about in the first segment. We want to talk about Bears-Bengals, but damn, the Detroit Lions, I did not think they'd come out and play like that, and they're sitting here 5-3 now.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.